So I figure I'll just show you this anyway. This is my basement of my house. It's at the void. It's made entirely out of dirt and glowstone and obsidian as a structural thing. This is a drop that goes all the way from the top and hits 4 blocks of water and a sign to stop you from dying. So this is B floor 16, and as you'll notice, the void has its little side effects. You'll notice if you go farther up, you get less and less of this little static stuff until you get here, or maybe 1 or 2 blocks above, and it goes away. And all the floors are basically identical, all the way to B floor 2 or 3. Yeah, there's the top. This is B floor 2. And this is the drop I told you about. I like the architecture. It was really nice little architectural thing I did here. The little trap door is sealed, so I'm just gonna break that. Don't tell anyone. So yeah, 2B floor 2 through 16. I open it, and there's a little secret trap door, and since there's so much light, it'll turn back into grass. So you're like, hey, wait a minute, it said B floor 1 through 16, not 1. And then you go over here and it says B floor 2 through 16. I am currently in B floor 1. See? B floor 1. Floor 1, B floor 2, or no, just floor 2, I'm sorry. And yeah, that little roaring sound, I'm sorry for that. That's a fire on the roof. This is floor 3 with a little bed and a little patio that goes all the way around my house. Sorry about that fiery noise. It's not supposed to be that loud. Anyway, and I hate the moon phases. Don't you guys hate how it's square? It would be much cooler if it was circular like it's designed to be. It used to be circular until Notch changed it back to square in pre-release 6. Anyway, this is the whole drop. It's a partial success because these 3 blocks here, it's very visible and obvious. And another problem is, you might have seen this before, there's a piston right there. So I'm going to show you how it works. It's basically the exact same sign. So let's see what happens if I drop something down this 4 or 5 block hole. Okay, maybe not. Owie. Once again, I get the same result. Now watch what happens when I step on this pressure plate. This block comes down, that piston pushes you over the edge. It involves a bit of paradoxical redstone mechanics, and by paradoxical I mean it only works like it's circular. It's kind of hard to explain. I'd best describe it as paradoxical. So yeah, it runs off the principle that a repeater acts like a diode, so the signal can only go in one way. See how it's doing that? The signal can only come from over there, and if it's coming from here, it won't go anywhere, but if it's coming from there, it'll power the whole area. And the inverters are also one way. They also act like diodes. So that's the that's pretty much the last thing I wanted to show you, except for this little flower patch thing. Speed limit enforced in flower patch. It's basically soul sand with snow over it. And this is a standard trap that you cannot escape without breaking the walls or the floor. Uses soul sand's unique 15/16 height, so it's 1/16 smaller than other blocks. If you remove this whole area right here in the first layer, you can get a one-way door in which you go through that way and you can't get back through. So yeah. Besides that, this is just a glowstone based spleef arena. It's kind of boring. You can see glowstone and dirt under it. Besides that, there's nothing really interesting. It's basically all the standard stuff you'd expect. Just redstone experiments, you know how all those people who experiment with redstone are. And then we just got the height damage thing. It uses the equation, which is height minus 3 divided by 2. That is the amount of damage you will suffer if you fall from the height. The damage is on the bottom, the height is on the top. So 4 minus 3 is 1, divided by 2 is 0.5. I didn't really have to calculate that, or any of these, because I could just jump off. The only one I actually had to calculate, because it was glitching, was this one right here. 23. 23 plus is fatal, but 23 does not appear to be fatal, even though it says you should take 10 hearts of damage. You only really take 9.5. I'm not sure if that still applies now, and I can't really check for it because I'm invincible and SPC commands don't work, so I can't make myself not invincible anymore. But basically what used to happen is I jump from here. This block right here is 23, so when I'm on it, I'm 23 blocks in the air. When I jump, it should cause, hold on a sec, it should cause 10 hearts of damage, 10 hearts of damage, but it doesn't for some peculiar reason. I have no idea why. Maybe it's just something to do with regenerating health. Yeah, so I don't know. And in the background, you can see over there, you can see a swamp biome, which is a classic example of how Notch isn't fixing the swamp biome. So it's very obvious, the fact that the swamp biome is there. It's very obvious because it has absolutely no form of disguise. The water is so different. Even all the way down at bedrock, the water looks very different if you allow it to roll into a swamp biome block or stack of blocks. So yeah, it's very obvious. So anyway, I think I will end this YouTube video with a very large drop from 63 blocks, causing 30 hearts of damage. So yeah, this has been Zayn26, and I will see you guys later.